All right, we're getting started with removing the A-arm to do a 1 inch extension plus a 1/8 inch plate reinforcement. So come along with me while I take this one out to do that, and then I'll show you the process in which to extend the A-arms. Okay, once you've gotten the A-arm off, this is kind of what you're gonna start with. Now, what I like to do just to keep these joints in place is I'm gonna weld the support piece of rod right here, or flat stock here, just to kind of hold this from shifting too much. That way when I go to put it back together, it's not like a bind. So there's gonna be a time lapse of that. Okay, first thing you're gonna wanna do is clean off the paint with some kind of grinding disc. You don't really want to take off, I mean, technically I did take off some metal, obviously, some sparks. But you don't want to take off too much metal. Here, we clean this up. We're going to lay this across this. Try to get it in a flat spot. And then we're just going to tack weld it to it, just like I said, hold its position. So this is what that's going to look like. So once you've got a couple tacks on this, this crossbar, it doesn't, I mean, mine's not very straight. It doesn't have to technically be straight on there. Just enough to hold it so it's not gonna move around. Make sure it's not under any tension, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I had already cut out these 1 inch, I think they're 3 inches long, we're gonna go in here kind of like this. And so basically what you're gonna do, you'll take a marker and some kind of flat. You usually have a thing to do this, but what you're gonna want to do, you kind of just gonna follow the line of the A-arm here, and then you're gonna want to come over here and do right about the same thing where this crease is. So you're gonna want to take this, come up here, there you go. And so this is the line you're gonna want to follow to cutting this out. It's kind of hard to do it this way. Sometimes I know a lot of people like to do it a little bit longer, just so you're not getting into the this, you know what I mean, the swoop in the A-arm. So let's get you guys a little bit over here. So the other way you can do it, besides freehanding it, which a lot of people don't want to, you can actually take your workpiece, try to keep it as flat as possible, and then this way you have a nice flat, even line. It's kind of hard to see with black marker, but then you're just going to want to follow the curvature of this thing. And then that's good. And then so now you're going to follow these lines to cut, and then you're going to cut, basically cut here. You're going to slide it back 1 inch, which is what's extending it, and then this way obviously you're going to then put in your pieces. Okay, now you can see here what we've cut off. Kind of came off, boom, like that. And so now we're just going to clean the paint off to then get prepared to, we're gonna find the flattest edge on this thing, which is this one, to come in right here. And just tack this corner. You just wanna tack one corner, just so you have a little bit of wiggle room, because there is gonna be a little indifference from there to kind of here, you know what I mean? Once you kind of get that 1 inch in there, you can see how that is kind of a little bit different. So just tacking it in this corner is going to leave a little bit for fit up. Okay, so once you get, I don't know if you can see, once you get it in enough, you're going to want to tack it, kind of like I said before, just in this corner, just to hold it. So I just inevitably tack both kind of up here and down here, just because when I did tack that one, it started to move up. So putting a little pressure down on it, got it pretty flat, and then tacked it. And I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm going to then move on to the other side and kind of get you a better idea of what I did on that side. So first thing you want to do, you want to clean up your You're gonna want to clean this up just a skosh, just enough to get in there. Just enough to get the slag or, you know, whatever it is off, mill scale. And then you're gonna want to see what side is gonna fit up the best, which that looks like it fits pretty good. These corners can be tricky sometimes, and you don't want to have to weld a huge gap if you don't have to. So that looks pretty good. So you just take your magnet, come in here, this close, scoot. What I like to do is I like to use the round edge on that side. So I can scoot this exactly where I might need it. Oh no. Happy with that. And just be careful. Okay. So now you're gonna kind of see how it moved a little bit. This one's pretty good. Now you're gonna kind of want to get this. Oh. Working with what I got. You can see it kinda, let's see, how can you see how it kind of moved over just a skosh. This one's pretty good, but it also kind of moved. But that's not gonna matter, because you're gonna want to clean fit up here, which really this is the part that matters the most to make it seamless. So this is the part you want to get right. This is the part you want to spend the most time on. Just kind of getting this in place where it's the most happiest. And unfortunately, that one's super off. This one, not so much. So you're let me tack it and I'll show you kind of what you got to work with a little bit. Just filling in some gaps. Okay, as you can tell, I kind of just went full send on that one because it kept moving. But basically, what you're going to kind of run into, you see this gap right here? Obviously, if you're a little bit better of a, setup guy and can actually cut it better than I can, you can avoid that gap. On this side, it's a little bit worse, but it's just kind of where the horn is going to, or the metal is bending in to match this, and unfortunately it's kind of hard to match that gap. Kind of, unless you cut it at where it's flat, which is where I should have cut it. On the other one, I think I cut it a little more back where it was flat. I thought cutting it in that curve was going to be the best option, but I guess not. So from here on, you're just going to weld the top. The best way you want to do it, weld the top, get not a bunch of heat in it, because obviously you still do have a bushing here, but you want to get quite a decent amount of heat in here, and then you want to move down to kind of around this area, so this piece of metal will be then hot enough to bend up, and then you can kind of get this factory meet up look, which then is just going to be better off that way. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll get back to you once I got this full welded, and I'll show you the procedure in bending that. Okay, so unfortunately, my what I thought my phone was recording a time lapse, it was not. So this is quite a large jump from where we were. But basically, I did the reinforcements. Don't look too close at my welds, they're not the most beautiful thing in the world. And then I I removed this chunk from right about right there, which with a cylinder coming up, with it being extended, the cylinders are super close to where, this is basically what the cylinder would look like. They're close to where the dog bone mount is going to be, and this is just going to be in the way. As you can tell, it would be, basically the cylinder would be getting into this, which is not what we want. So this being here, the cylinder is gonna have plenty of space to move around, and it's plenty strong. Like I said, it is a, I think what I say, 1/8 inch thick reinforcement all the way through. So it's not just a butt weld, it's also connecting it. Plenty strong for what we're doing. We're not making a hopper. Unfortunately, here, let's take the cover off the car a little bit. So I already did this side, and this is kind of why you want that that 1-inch extension. As you can tell, it's not tucking in, and usually what happens when they're slammed like this, they tuck in. So as you can tell, I did this side. Oh, it's already starting to rust. I'm not painting it, but I needed to get it on. But that one, same thing, 1-inch extension. So we're gonna have to get it back into here, but first I'm gonna try to clean some of that up so it doesn't look horrible. But yeah, this is the troubles of trying to record stuff on a phone. But yeah, I'll get back with you once I'm getting ready to put it in, and I'll show you the difference kind of from where we started to where we ended.